I'm Jonjo Elliott. I'm an artist from Leicestershire, graduate of Montfort Uni, and I'm making art club videos every Wednesday and Saturdays for you guys to enjoy and have a go at. If you skip over to the Montfort University YouTube channel, you can check out all the videos. We're going to be finishing off our perspective drawing today, and hopefully yours is going to look something like this. Right, so now we're going to think about how we can add some colour and some more detail in colour and collage to our finished drawing that we did in the last video. So if you haven't seen how to do this bit yet, skip back a video and go and check it out on Montfort Uni's YouTube channel. If you have a look, you'll see how to do a perspective drawing, which then you can build into a painting, which is what we're going to do now. So we're going to start by adding a wash over the top to create some sky. So we've got our blue mixed up, ready to go. Now this blue is just an acrylic paint that's mixed with quite a bit of water to make it quite loose and runny. I'm going to do it quite experimental, this piece of work, because I want to see what happens with it, so I'll be adding all sorts of bits and pieces to it. Also for this I'm using this sort of brush, which if you can see is flat on the front, so you can get nice wide sweeps, but you can also get very tight lines if you want to. Quite a handy brush, and they're quite cheap to get, so have a look around, see if you can get some. So we're going to start by washing across the top of our paint and see where it goes from there. So we've painted along the top with quite a runny paint. Okay, now I'm loving these runs. See these bits? But I don't want it to go too much down the painting, so I'm going to take it off, right, and I'm just going to lay it flat until those runs have dried. Okay, so in a minute if I hold it like that, it's running down. If I put it flat, it's going to stop running. So if I get nice and close, we can see that the paint, acrylic paint mixed with a good bit of water, has caused this detail in the sky that I actually quite like. You know, where it's dribbled or where it's ran down into the building, it's going to be quite nice. And that hard edge along the top of the building, look, it's kind of painted itself. So, you know, this run that's come down here, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. We'll wait and see. Let's move on and see what we do next. A yellow wash over everything else, okay? So now you can see our blue has dried quite nice. It's actually given a bit of drama to the sky. Now, one thing that I'm really keen about in my art is contrast, colours that make an impact, you know, something that adds drama to what you're making. So it makes it exciting for me. I used to do a lot of charcoal drawings, which were black and white, obviously, but once I got into colour, then I really got into using colour. Now, the last of our sort of undercoats, first layers, I've mixed up this really runny black in the same tub that had the yellow in there, so it could mix. We'll see. I'm going to put that down my road. Now, it may make the road, no, we can still see the road markings, we're good. Now if you see where the yellow has run, you actually see that through. Now this paint is very thin, so it's going to do whatever it wants, and as it dries, it's going to run down into other areas. See how I'm leaving these bits? Don't worry about that. I'm going to run a line across there, look. A line down there, a line down the middle. Okay, now we can see that's making a big difference to our painting. So same again here, look. I'm just going to brush straight down around the bottom of the pavement. So, I'm now mixing up the paint in a Posca pen. Okay, I use these quite a bit in my art, just because I like to do a mixed media painting. So mixed media, for anyone that doesn't know, means you're using different applications, paint, pen, paper, anything that's different. So with this, I'm going to start adding some details. So give your Posca a good shake. I'm using my trusty old piece of wood. Haven't got a ruler handy, so it doesn't matter. Now what this will do, you'll see it straight away. It will start bringing in some more perspective, okay? So I've got some tissue paper, which is, because it's been left out in the sun, it's kind of faded, yellow and orange, so that's quite cool. PVA glue, and what I'm going to do is chop this paper up and use it for some of the window details, okay? So I'm going to cut it into little squares and start applying it to these windows. See how it looks. I've added all those bits of paper on there now, just to this section of windows. If you keep adding your bits and pieces, so little bits of cut out paper, different marks, it starts to build up the layers. And don't forget, this isn't paint by numbers, all right? So if you do get bits that go out of the lines, don't worry about it. It all adds to the painting in the end. So as an artist, I tend to keep a lot of stuff, magazines and things. So what I've been doing, I've been chopping out of magazines and adding certain bits to make it into a collage. So for this area just here, I'm going to add this with a cut out tree on top to see how it looks. So at this stage, I've added some cut out collage pieces, so just straight out of magazines, okay, and it's actually starting to look like quite a cool little artwork now. So as an artist, inspiration can come from everywhere, you know, anywhere and everywhere. Everything you look at can be inspirational. For this piece, I'm trying to do something with stuff that I've got laying around, paints, paper, magazines, ink, pens, whatever I've got, and I'm just trying to do something that's different, and that's what you guys should be doing. So don't try and make something that you've already seen. Try and make something that's completely different to what you've seen, and then develop that into your own style and take it further forward. I think an important thing is to play with the materials you've got and the skills that you've got. Once you start exploring and experimenting with how you can apply onto your canvas, then that's when the good stuff starts to happen. Now we've reached quite a cool stage with our piece of work. So I'm just going to give you a bit of a close-up so you can see the bits and pieces I've added. So little chopped out magazine pieces, lots more detail with the pen, loads of collagey bits, some birds and a plane in the sky, woman there with a dog and some balloons, some trees and bushes. So I'm going to keep adding detail and washes and bits and bobs until I think I've reached a point where it's finished. Right, let's have a look where we've got to. So, I've finished putting all my little collage pieces on. I've done lots more detail with the pen. I haven't done anything super special, to be honest. It's all pretty easy stuff, it just takes a bit of practice. So my collage pieces are on, I've done a lot of white highlighting and pretty much finished it off. So, with a bit of work, with a bit of practice, you guys could do the same.